we're now getting ready to assemble our cross arms onto the post. And we're using a wide buddy that we're building here today. So what I want to do is take a measurement of inside of bucket to inside of bucket. On this one, we're just right at 108 inches wide. So what I want to do is when I set up my post here on the bottom, I want to make sure that I'm 108 inches between the inside of my post, which that one's right on 108. At the back here, we're setting right at 108. That'll just make it a lot easier when you see us move this cross arm and put it onto the post. Now you'll see that I've positioned the locks are closest to the floor. They're both the same way. So we're going to put on the cross arm to match that so our locks match. In order to put on our crossbar on the end here, we have to elevate the post off of the floor. Inside the packing of the lift, you're going to get a couple of 2x4s. Just set it on there. That'll raise that up so that we can put on our crossbeam. As you're seeing Jay, he's putting on some wax on these posts. That makes a big difference. A lot of people will try to lubricate this with some kind of a WD or silicone spray, and then guess what? Dirt sticks to it. And then it gets goopy inside the sliders. The best way to do it is just use wax. You can use a paste wax like Jay's using, or you can just get that spray-on detail wax and wax that probably once a quarter, about the time you wax your cars, and that'll give it that real slick feeling like you get after you've waxed your car, and it allows them sliders just to slide easily up and down, and it'll keep it from scratching the outside of your post, and it moves really easy. The way we want to do is you want to be really careful here to start, because we don't want to scratch up our post when we're putting this in. Okay, then what we're going to do is put in a couple of sliders at a diagonal distance so that we don't scratch it as we go down the post. You have locks here that you want to make sure are not engaged into the post so that it'll allow this to slide down. So we're holding this lock open here. That's going to keep it open, and this one keeps it open. So now we're able to slide this down. We're going to slide it to our 2x4, and then we're going to reposition our 2x4 as we go down the post. And you want to kind of go together. Okay, you ready? By inserting the sliders in there, we're going to take this down and set it on the third lock from the bottom. You're in, and then this one is free. This is your secondary lock. We want it to be free so it's not setting on it. And then it's setting on the main lock, and we'll show that when we stand the post up here. Pick this up with your legs, then we're going to stand this right up. Now, I want to show you these locks here a little closer so that you understand what we did there. This is our main lock, and it's what the carriage is setting on inside the lock at this point. This is the secondary lock. So when we were inserting this in, we held this back and we had this lock turned around holding it open so that we was able to slide that in and the lock's not catch. When we got to the third lock, then we inserted that one in, and you can tell this is not in its lock. This is the secondary lock that we'll talk about here shortly. If you rent a material handling lift to help you do this job, which is the preferred way for me to do this, it makes it a whole lot easier to be able to, you'll see how we install that cross arm by using the material handling lift. Okay, by using this material handling lift, you're going to be able to put the cross arm on here, and then we're going to raise it up and insert it from the top and then lower it down to our third lock from the bottom. So this doesn't move around on you. We want to take a clamp, and we're going to clamp that so that it doesn't move on you. Okay, ready to come down? You'll notice now that we'll just lower this down right over the posts themselves. Before you want to bring this down, you got to make sure that your locks are open. You'll see the main lock is pointing down and the secondary lock is not engaged into the post. If they were engaged, it wouldn't allow that outside slider to come down the post. So you got to make sure that they're open before you come down. Are we in, Jay? Okay, now that we're in, we're going to come down. The Genie keeps the cross arm nice and level so it doesn't scratch up the cross arm as it comes down. And we're going to put this on the third lock. The third lock again. Okay, now we're going to insert our sliders. So you'll notice one of them, we have 3 angle sliders and one that's got a notch in it. And there is a left and a right. So we want to be able to put it up to the post. When I put it on there, I have the solid piece at the top and then the 2 cutouts are for my locks. That's for the secondary lock and the main lock. So we're going to put it in first, put it into the post here, get that one set in, and then we're going to go straight across from it on the side, put that one in, and then we'll come to the back and put these 2 in the back. You might have to jiggle the post a little bit just to get it to fit, but then they'll go right in, and it's a nice tight fit, a little bit of tolerance in there when we put these sliders in. But what that does for you is you don't get a lot of the wiggle wobble that you get on some of the 4-post lifts that are out on the market. This is a tight fit, eliminating that movement.